Welcome back, guys, and welcome to the Charrogg guide as well. So we're actually facing Charrogg finally in this beginning guide series. As you might have noticed, I'm actually doing a series, and if you didn't, please be so kind and check it out. There is all in there you might have to wonder, or what you might have wondered about, or you're curious about. Talking about weapons, armor, tutorials, behemoths, set mechanics, triggers, behavior of behemoths, and news, of course. The thing is, starting off with the series, I actually talked about going defender sets, as well as some, for example, strafe or something else, or some mixed up stuff you might wanna test out for yourself. We're actually talking about this in my stream as well, so don't hesitate and check the link in the video description as well. You will be guided to my stream which is on a daily basis from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. on the European server time. So yeah, let's jump right into this. Charrogg is a pretty easy fight. It's not as as basic as you might want to think, but still it's in the early content, so we are actually not as much to talk about as I would love to. The other thing is that he actually is, he's quite strong, I'd say. Even though I have the maximum gear for the situation, he is as you can see, he's pounding me pretty hard. So what are we gonna do to him if we want to kill him? I'm using my axe, as you can see. You can do this with any other weapon, of course. I still suggest you go with one of the heavy hitters, like a hammer, a sword, or an axe, since you can just roll through such things like this ball or his ultimate, which is fire damage. Of course, as well as the dot ability with him, with his fire damage. Like when you get hit by the dot, you can actually roll it away. That's basically the same with blades, but with blades, you're more of an stamina reliable weapon class than any other class. So you wanna keep that in mind. The other thing with him is, even though he is not enriched yet, he will do pretty hard hits on me. Like, he's very slow, but his hits are actually pretty hard. That's why I'm playing kind of passive to get him to his different states of the fight. Like this one, for example, it's a pretty standard one. Like, the damage is always the same if he's enriched or not. The only difference is he's kind of moving faster while in enrich. Of course, this will be a bit harder when we actually reach the Firebrand Charrogg, since this is only the usual one, the tier 2 one, kind of a middle thing, if you want to say so. I personally recommend, if you want to stay alive in this stage of the fight, just stay at the back, stay at the stomach, or maybe even go in with a group, so you don't have this problem like I do. Like, he wants to focus me, he wants to hit me. So that's pretty obnoxious to actually hit stuff, unless you're really close to the stomach and can follow him around while hitting him. That actually can be done with any weapon, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be talking about this. And that's another thing I actually forgot to mention, like this one. It's pretty helpful to disengage those fears coming out of him, since he want to travel to you, follow you around to hit you. Other people like to basically drag them out of the fight, or maybe drag them into him. I personally just disengage and don't think about it again anymore, so I can continue with my fight against this behemoth. I personally recommend, if you want to go for the farm, just some quick tail drops or some quick leg drops, as well as some head drops, are pretty easily done with him, since he's a pretty big target. And now we finally get to the enrich which I was talking about earlier. Like, in his enrich is pretty hard. Like, he will be doing some certain attacks faster than before. Of course, the damage will be increased as well if you get higher danger levels. That still remains as usual. The other thing with his enrich is, which I personally don't understand, is that his hitboxes is kind of messed up when he's doing his slams or his animation for the enrich, for example. You will get hit by this, even though it's not an usual attack of him. Like, it's no mechanical attack. Like, the pattern of his hitbox is just trying to stomp around and hit around, and will accidentally hit you from time to time. Also, keep in mind, in the enrage, his main focus is to actually melee attack you with his front legs if you're standing in front of him, as well as the ultimate, which is this one. Apparently you can see he's spawning a circle of fire, which then expands and leave some open spaces to go through. That's actually the way blade players should dodge it, in my opinion. Otherwise, you would have to prove yourself a real master of chain blades by going actually all in and casting your special ability, your Q, right at the time when he procs his ultimate, so you can actually Q dodge his thing by jumping over it instead of dodging through, since this won't be possible with chain blades. That's the big thing why I'm ignoring with X as well. Like, you can actually dodge anything there is in this fight with this weapon type, with the heavy hitters ones, with the two-handed. Since of course when he's spawning his ultimate, you can as well just stay close to him and dodge it away like this. And just keep standing there and hitting him while he's trying to recover. And the other thing is with this stomach, or probably should better call it body hitting tactic, is that you can easily proc those fire spheres. No, what's it called in English? Sorry guys, I'm assuming English is kinda dumping me right now. But the main idea is to break the parts in between his leg, which will cast the fire in those fire stages in the fight, as we talked about. If you break one and there's actually smoke coming out, that means he can't no longer pull some fire out of those legs anymore, and you will be having a way easier fight. The other thing is, even if you manage to kill, to proc or destroy all 4 of those leg panels where the fire comes out, it doesn't mean he can actually ulti or proc some fears on you, or even his balls. He will chew to by his tail, and also it won't change any movement patterns of him. Like with the Charrogg, for example, you can cut his tail and it will dramatically change his movement kit. That won't happen in here. Like for example, as you can see, he's still casting his ultimate. The only difference is that on the side where we broke the part of his leg, there's no more fire coming out. So he will still try to do this, but won't happen to be able to actually proc some fire. The other thing we really have to watch out is if he wants to leave, he will spawn this lurking thing on the ground, this circle with lava in it. Actually try not to be in there, since it's doing percentage damage and giving you the debuff, which is also percentage damage. It's pretty obnoxious in my opinion, but watch out for that, especially if you're pretty low already, or if you're in here with low gear instead of the maximum gear from the content you have been just finished. Like this is tier 2 boss. You should be having like tier 1, at least half max gear, or basically you should have defender 2 gear. Like I'm wearing currently, it's maxed out tier 1 defender gear, which you will be wearing, at least in my opinion, you should be wearing till Ember main, and then just farm Ember main or Moonweaver Shrike, so you can mix up some sets or get some more, get used to the different aspects in the game, like the different aspects on armor and lanterns. The other thing is, within this fight you can actually go for certain behemoth behavior tricks, like going around him a lot, moving around a lot if you don't want to break certain parts. Because most of the times he will try to do this one to you if you're standing in front of him. So that's why I'm actually kinda trying to at least move it around a bit, instead of just keep standing on the stomach, which is also an option. The other thing is, as you can see with his enrage, if you stay on the stomach, it's just a pretty safe spot to stay. So that's actually why I'm doing this, at least in my way. Of course, you can do this as in any way you like. So it's not like I'm telling you you have to do this way. But certainly, of course, you will have a way easier game against this one if you're standing on the stomach instead of in front of him like this, and he will try to hit you or run you over with everything he got. And yeah, guys, that's basically the Charrogg fight. I'm sorry that there's nothing more to say, since he's a pretty easy boss. And as you can see, there's the smoke coming out, and you actually can't proc any more fire from this place. Just to before we finish this video off. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you so much. If you learned something, or if you found the video helpful or anything regarding it, just leave it a like, really helps out. And definitely check out my stream and visit me for sure. Until then, guys, till the next video. See ya. Bye bye.